Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Lost. This is the 4th episode of the final season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Click on it, put the password in and enjoy. Speak about links in the description. We are running our top 3 favourite characters throughout the whole franchise. It takes 30 seconds and your results and mine will be shown in the final episode. They'll all be aggregated up and obviously we will see who the favourite characters are. Later on in the season we will obviously do a season 6 poll, but right now it's just the whole franchise. Also, votes for the next show is in the description as well. You can get voting. Currently Prison Break is winning, and as mentioned obviously at the start of the season, we're going to have daily uploads of the Patreon with obviously a 5-day week, 2-day weekend break, 5-day week, 2-day weekend break, just so it gives us a bit of time on the channel. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. Last episode's really interesting. We thought that Saeed had died, but he resurrected. You know, don't really know what's happening. They done the procedure where they put them in the water, do you know what I mean? And it looked like he actually drowned, but then he's obviously come back to life. Now they've gone and they grabbed him, they've took him in the back and they've actually tortured him, but they didn't even ask him any questions. They just done kind of like a ritual. They tied him down, you know, they was blowing stuff on him, they was burning him. Basically, they ended up going to Jack and telling him that he's infected and it's going to spread. And they told Jack that this is a bit of medicine and you want to give it to Saeed and it'll help him. But Jack didn't really trust him. He kept asking him what's in it. He just kept saying it was medicine. You know, he went over to Saeed and he said, look, they want you to take this. Saeed turned around to Jack and said, look, if you, you know, if you're going to say that that's going to make me better, then I'll take it. You know, it's your call. I believe in what you say, Jack. Jack's ended up saying, no, you know what I mean, don't have it. And he's gone back to the leader, he's spoken to them, and he's gone to take it himself. And they panicked, they ran over, they grabbed him, they've obviously squeezed it out of him. Turns out it's poison. They wanted to eliminate Saeed, you know, they think that the darkness is going to spread from him to the rest of the camp, and that's really interesting because I'm not too sure actually what is actually going on with him. Now in the backstory, or whatever you want to call it, it was Kate in the alternate reality, and basically she managed to escape, didn't she, from her obviously Marshall. She's got into a taxi and Claire's there, and you know, basically they flee. They've kicked Claire out. She's gone to basically a garage. She's got dressed. She's found out obviously Claire was pregnant. She's seen all of her stuff. She's gone back. She's picked Claire up. She's actually took her to the house where she's supposed to obviously have a couple who's adopted a baby. Claire was saying that the baby parents potentially didn't actually turn up to the airport, and she was thinking that maybe they had the day mixed up. But when she turned up and knocked on the door, turns out that the woman, her husband, just left her, and she was saying that she's not able to raise a baby on her own and Claire's going to have to keep it. So it's interesting because obviously on the island she was forced to kind of keep it. She went to obviously go and give it up for adoption and she was forced to have it. And now obviously in this storyline it looks the same as well. So even though it's an alternate reality, stuff's kind of happening the same. And we ended the episode with actually Claire saving a few people on the island. She turned up kind of like Russo and popped a few of them. Really interesting. So now she's back in the show. Can't wait to see what we do with her, and that will conclude her for the rest of the season. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode. We're gonna get John Locke again in another alternate reality. Imagine that. Typical, isn't it, honestly? Oh. He's actually married now.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Let's get you inside. So sick of caterers and bands. And what do you say we just get my parent and your dad and do it shotgun style in Vegas?
No, you deserve better than that.
So how was the conference?
Boring.
Who's Dr. Jack Shepard?
Oh, I met him at Lost Luggage when I went to fill out the forms.
He's a spinal surgeon?
Yeah, nice guy. He offered me a free consult.
You should call him. Maybe it's destiny.
The thing is, though, you get a free consultation. You definitely take it. I would anyway. You know, what have you got to lose? You got everything to gain and nothing to lose, really, in this situation.
All right, Richard. Time to talk.
That was interesting. I mean, if we go to the John Locke in the alternate reality, it seems like he obviously is with Helen, where obviously we know that that didn't actually happen. And also, it seems like he's getting on with his dad as well, you know, because she said that at the wedding, maybe we just have my parents and get your dad. But obviously, we know that the reason why he was in a wheelchair was because of his dad in the first scenario. So, like, in this alternate reality, he seems like he gets on with his dad. yet he's still in the wheelchair. So I wonder how that's actually happened. Is it the same cause, or is it just unlucky and it's just, you know, something different?
Welcome back, Colonel. You got a nice tan in Australia.
I made some good contacts, though.
Really, that's interesting. Ken Fisher called and said you had to cancel your lunch with him.
Probably jet lag.
Really? Because then the seminar people called and said you hadn't picked up your credentials? Where the hell were you?
Look, Randy, I'm really sorry. I know we just called it my vacation week. I know I shouldn't have lied, but where I was, it's personal, and I really don't want to talk about it.
You're fired.
I mean, you get proper assholes like that all the time. I mean, technically, you probably could fire him because obviously he just got a free vacation, but, you know, his attitude's well bad.
Richard, I'm sorry I hit you in the throat and dragged you off the beach, but I had to do something.
What do you want?
What I've always wanted, for you to come with me.
Why do you look like John Locke?
I knew he'd get me access to Jacob, or at least he was a candidate.
What do you mean a candidate?
Didn't Jacob tell you any of this? I would never have kept you in the dark.
And what would you have done?
I would have treated you with respect.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
I'll be seeing you, Richard, sooner than you think.
John was a candidate. What for, though? Actually, I don't even know.
Tell me what happened to them.
There's a fairly reasonable chance that you won't believe me. John Locke killed them. He turned into a pillar of black smoke, and he killed them right before my eyes.
Did it kill Jacob as well? Then where's his body?
Locke kicked him into the fire, and he burned away.
Locke, do you know why he carried Richard out into the jungle?
He's recruiting.
What's he recruiting for, though? To get away? I don't even know. He said he wants to get off the island, didn't he?
Hello, James.
Thought you were dead.
I am.
That'll be interesting. He's recruiting. Obviously, James is going to be one of his.
You're taking this extremely well.
Taking what extremely well?
That I'm here.
I don't give a damn if you're dead. Who are you? You sure as hell ain't John Locke.
Oh, he's figured that out quick, hasn't he?
Because Locke was scared. Even when he was pretending he wasn't. But you ain't scared.
What if I told you I was the person who could answer the most important question in the world? Why are you on this island?
Because my plane crashed. My raft blew up because the helicopter I was on was riding one too heavy.
That's not why you're here. I can prove it.
Well, I guess I better put some pants on.
Yo, to be fair, Sawyer and Locke would be pretty good together. The only interesting thing is what he's just said there. He's been through a bit of the wars, hasn't he, if you think about it? You know what I mean? Like, he's crash landed on the island, yeah? Tried to get off on the raft, got blown up. Tried to get off on a helicopter, had to dive off. Do you know what I mean? Had the chance to get on the submarine. He's had to, obviously, kind of like escape because, obviously, they wanted to go back to the island. Like, he actually has been through a bit of the wars, Sawyer. It's interesting. Also, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's interesting that he clocks that that's not Locke straight away. He was basically saying Locke had this personality that he was all confident. Do you know what I mean? And I could always sense that he was still scared. But you've got some aura around you where you're just not scared at all. Do you know what I mean? You're actually confident. And the reason why all these seem to be on the island is we've seen it in one of the backstories that Jacob was going around touching them and selecting them. That's the reason why I'm believing that they're on the island. But that does not give me the reason of why they were selected, though. Does that make sense? So, like, I understand that Jacob come and he touched Sawyer and he touched Kate, you know what I mean? He touched Jin and Son. That might be the reason why they come here, but why did he choose them? That is a separate question and answer that hopefully Locke can give us today. It'd be really interesting if that is actually revealed. Yo, imagine that. You know, I can't even get his key.
You ever park a car in your life? You're practically in my spot.
I'm sorry.
I haven't seen you before. You work here?
Actually, I own the company.
Actually, nothing. My boss just fired me.
Who's your boss?
His name is Randy.
Want me to talk to him for you?
No, that's okay.
I own a temp agency, too. Call this number. Tell him that Hugo said to hook you up with the new job.
See what I mean? Locke's kind of a bit of destiny. Met Hugo, met Jack, you know what I mean?
They said they were going to the temple.
Right now is the safest place on the island. Come on, let's get out of here.
What makes you think that I'm going with you?
You want to find Jin? I know that if he's on the island and he's alive, then he'll be at the temple.
Who the hell's that?
Oh, you can see him, Sawyer.
You can see him?
The kid? Hell yeah, I can see him.
You know the rules.
can't kill him.
Yo, does he answer to somebody as well? You know what I mean? Everybody answers to somebody that they've said on the show before.
Don't tell me what I can't do!
Look, whoever you are, you got about 20 seconds, and then I'm out of here.
Where is he?
What the hell are you doing here?
Where is he?
Ran off in the jungle after some kid.
That man is not John Locke.
I know.
Then why are you with him?
Because he's got answers.
You don't understand what you're dealing with. He doesn't just want you dead. He wants everyone dead. Everyone you care about. All of them.
You ever catch up with a kid?
What kid?
Let's get on with it, shall we?
Yes, James. Let's get on with it.
Good morning, Mr. Locke.
Oh, it's Rose.
I'm Rose Nadler, the office supervisor.
Well, I see here that you have a listing for a site coordinator.
I'm not sure that's a good match.
Well, if experience is the issue, I have...
Experience isn't the issue. If you want to work construction, you got it. Try to be a little more realistic.
And what do you know about realistic?
I have cancer.
I'm sorry.
When the doctors first told me, I had a hard time accepting it. But eventually, I got past the denial part. We find you a job you can do.
You know what, right? I know that being in a wheelchair is obviously tough, but there's so many jobs that you can actually do. I know they all require like being in an office, but they all don't require being in an office where you just sit and answer phones. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many jobs that you can actually do that doesn't require picking up the phones, because to me, picking up phones is the worst job that you could ever do. You know what I mean? Especially being in an environment where you're obviously just closed off in these little desk things that he's got. I've worked in offices before where it's like big open spaces, you know what I mean? And it's you know, it's fun, you know what I mean? I've made some of the best friends of being in a big open business, you know what I mean, working in offices. You can actually work at a supermarket, you know what I mean, engaging with lots of people. He could be behind a desk, he could be scanning the groceries, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things that you could do to get out there. You don't have to be sat at home, do you know what I mean, out the way. And like she's saying, you got to be a bit realistic. And the interesting thing is, you know, it doesn't seem like many of these things have actually changed in these alternate kind of parallel reality that we're kind of in. Yes, they've obviously landed here in LAX, you know what I mean, where they didn't previously, but John's still in the wheelchair, she's still got cancer, Claire's still having a baby and she couldn't actually give it away, you know, Kate's still handcuffed. The only one that we kind of seen that's a little bit different is Desmond was on the plane, but Hurley, instead of him having bad luck, he's kind of in a happy mode, you know what I mean? But everything else is still kind of similar, which is actually interesting because it doesn't really feel like an alternate parallel reality, does it? It just feels like they just live in the life that they would have actually lived before.
What's on your mind, James?
Wondering what would happen to you if I put a bullet in your head.
Why don't we find out? What I am is trapped. And I've been trapped for so long that I don't even remember what it feels like to be free. I know what it's like to feel joy, to feel pain. I know what it's like to lose someone you love. If you want to shoot me, shoot me. But you're so close.
I know Richard said that he was going to kill him and he wants to kill everybody else on the island, but I also really want to see what he wants to show him. Maybe he wants to kill everybody, but maybe not, you know, maybe not Sawyer because he's trying to recruit.
Why did you have to bring him to the statue in the first place?
Because the people there need to see the face of what they're up against.
To stop what they're up against from changing his face.
You can't. Not anymore.
John Locke was a believer. He was a man of faith. He was a much better man than I will ever be. And I'm very sorry I murdered him.
Just drops that in and walks off.
This is the weirdest damn funeral I've ever been to.
Do you remember when he buried those two other people, that Spanish guy and that woman, and they were still alive?
Can I help you?
No, you can't. I was calling Dr. Shepard.
Well, good for you. When are you going to see him?
I'm not going to see him.
I don't understand. Why wouldn't you?
I got fired, Helen.
Enquiry. Delivering your lost luggage?
Now talk to me.
Open the case, Helen.
What are these for?
My walkabout, but they wouldn't let me go. And I sat there yelling at them, shouting at them that they couldn't tell me what I can't do. I'm sick of imagining what my life could be out of this chair, Helen. What it would be like to walk down the aisle with you. But I don't want you to spend your life waiting for a miracle, Helen. There is no such thing.
There are miracles, John. And the only thing I was ever waiting for was you.
Number's still saved in his phone, so he's still got it. He knows his name, Jack Shepherd, as well, so he could kind of search him up if he needs to.
Nice view.
Now we go down.
Oh, his steps anyway. I didn't even know they were steps.
You coming, James?
shifted over pretty quick. Oh.
Come on, I got you. Come on.
Would this put a bit of trust in Locke? Do you know what I mean? If he was Sawyer, because he's actually trying to save you. Where'd he go in? Is it that cave for there? Wonder what them scales reference. Is it something that we seen earlier on in the show somewhere? What's that? Everybody's names? Right, cause I seen up there then, it had a number, maybe 15 and then said James, and then it had maybe 16 and said Farah, like, do you know what I mean, or whatever. Is that, assuming that's obviously like Saeed's surname and Sawyer's, and I think I might have seen Reyes as well. I wonder if, do you know what I mean, like, why is everybody's name, first of all, carved into a rock that's on the edge of a cliff, and then why is it that they kind of striped off as well? I know that people have been making these lists, and they've been going to Jacob, but we've never actually really found out why these lists were made. And if we have, again, I've missed it. You know what I mean? But, like, you know, I'm sure early on in the show they said that people are worthy and people are not worthy, but who's decided that and why? You know what I mean? Going back to the Jacob reference of selecting people to come to the island when he was touching them, I understand the concept of that's how they possibly obviously ended up being here, but why did he select those few people? Do you know what I mean? Like, had he done research on them before? If he had, how did he know that the young kids like Kate and Sawyer was going to be beneficial for the island? Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe we get that revealed later. I hope so anyway, because I get that they kind of hear and how it happened, but I don't really know why they were selected yet. And do you know what I mean? The benefit and the reason why they're actually on the island.
All right, dig it out. Come on. Bring it in now. Bring it in all the way.
To be fair, he could be a gym teacher. He actually could.
Can you tell me where the teacher's lounge is?
Yeah, it's over there.
Thank you.
All right, I know I sound like a broken record, but
Ben's there, no
we
way.
have to go over this. If you have the last cup of coffee, you remove the filter and throw it away.
Ben Linus, European history.
John Locke, substitute.
Well, welcome.
Yo, he could actually be a teacher. That is actually a decent job, that.
Who wrote all this?
His name was Jacob. He died yesterday.
Why are all the names crossed out?
They're not all crossed out.
Reyes. That's Hugo, right? What's the 8 about?
Jacob had a thing for numbers. 16, Jarrah. 42, Quan. 4, Locke. Number 15.
15, James.
At some point in your life, James, probably when you were young, he came to you. He manipulated you. And as a result, choices that you thought you made were never really choices. He thought he was the protector of this place. First, you can do nothing. See how all this plays out? Second option, you can accept the job. Become the new Jacob. The third choice, James, is that we just go. We just get the hell off this island.
And how do we do that?
Together. Are you ready to go home?
Hell yes.
I really blame Sawyer for wanting to go on, can you? Do you know what I mean? As I was saying before, when we was kind of like explaining all of the situations that he's been in. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the plane crash. He's been in the, you know, the RAF explosion. He's been jumping out of the helicopter. You know, he's been on the sub and then he's actually had to get off it. You know what I mean? He's lost Juliet. He's been through a tough time and now he's getting a chance to potentially go home. He's obviously going to take it. That's no shocker. Now, the interesting thing is, obviously, everybody's names are up there. You know, you've got Reyes. Well, to be honest, actually, if we look at it, Kate's wasn't on there. Neither was Claire's. We had Reyes, Locke, Barack, Sawyer, Jack, Shepard. That was 5. Do we have any more? I can't remember. Do you know what, right? The numbers have been given out loads of times, right? And I can't even tell you the numbers. I'm that bad. That's how bad I am. But I know for a fact that those were the numbers. Those were what's imprinted into the hatch. Those are the lottery numbers that obviously Hurley won with. Those are the ones that the people have heard when he was pulled towards the island, when they heard it on the Tannoy system. And those are the numbers that are here, obviously, now with everybody's names. Now, everybody's not a candidate for the island to protect it. He said that there was 3 options. You know, you've got 1, basically, you do nothing and your name gets crossed off, just like Locke's is. He's dead, isn't it? 2, you can actually become the new Jacob and protect the island, but there's nothing to protect it from. Now, the interesting thing is, right, if the monster's not there, so if that guy, if Locke's not there, what is there to protect the island from? Like, who are you protecting it from? Like, nobody can find it anyway. The only thing that I known on the island that was kind of a threat was the monster. If the monster's him, and he wants to not be there, then who are you protecting him from? But it doesn't explain the fact that people don't age. Jacob been around there for so long. This guy's been around for ages. How can he transition from the monster to Locke? You know what I mean? Like, how's Richard been there for X amount of years? And do you know what I mean? Like, none of that stuff actually makes any sense. And hopefully that it gets revealed later down the line. But then obviously the third option was just get off the island. Do you know what I mean? Let's go home. Let's get back to our normal lives. And obviously he wants to take it. He wants to do that. He's had enough now. Interesting. You know, we didn't even have anything of you know, of Saeed and Jack and Kate and all that. And you know, last time I think that we seen Kate was she was sat with Sawyer at the end of the like docks when he was kind of blaming himself for Juliet. She's obviously let him do his own thing and she's returned probably on her own. So it's really interesting. Obviously we're going to get them next episode, I'm assuming, because they still kind of want to kill Saeed. But it was a good episode today. I like the backstory as well, and you know, we're getting more information revealed to us. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you've not yet voted for your most liked characters of the whole entire franchise, please do. Link in the description, and your results might be shown in the final episode. So today, you know, it's all about Locke's story. We had Locke in the present, and we also had him in the alternate reality, so to speak. You know, basically still in the wheelchair. You know, got Randy still trying to bust his balls, you know, at his job. He's supposed to go to a convention in Australia, but he didn't really check in. He went to try and do the Outback. Turns out that he didn't actually go on it, just the same as before. He's obviously returned. He's been fired. Luckily for him, he's actually met Hurley outside, who said, look, mate, I can hook you up. You know what I mean? He acknowledges that his boss, Randy, is a bit of an ass, and he was saying that, you know, call this number and I'll get you something. And obviously, Locke wanted to be in construction, but like Rose turned up. She was saying that she's got cancer, do you know what I mean? And she's kind of come to terms with what she could do and what her life is. And basically, you know, let's not look at something a bit outlandish. Let's look at something that you could potentially actually do. Now, you know, he actually chose to be a temporary teacher, which I think is actually a pretty good one. You know what I mean? You can run a gym class, you know, you can run a normal classroom job, and it keeps you engaging and practical and gives you something to do. Your mind's always going. And the interesting thing is he's gone to the student lounge, the teacher's lounge, and Ben's there. You know, he is a teacher inside the school that he's temping in. So that again is very interesting. I want to see more of that. Didn't really see anything of Claire, even though we had the last episode, didn't we? And she arrived at the end when she shot a couple of the guys. Do you know what I mean? To save. I can't remember who she was saving now, but yeah, she turned up, didn't she? She reminded me of Russo, and you know, her personality, her face, hair looked totally different to the last time we seen her. So maybe we get more of Claire in the next one. But today, you know, they buried Locke on the island. I think maybe Son, Lana, and what is it now? Frank first found out basically that it was Ben that actually killed Locke. They've obviously buried him in the same place where everybody else that was buried on the island, and they're actually going to the temple as well. They were saying to Son that, you know, if Jin is actually here and you want to reunite with your husband, then that is going to be the location that he's most likely going to be. And you know, she's not actually wrong. He is actually there. Now, like I said, mate, you know, Locke's been taking James. Well, basically, you know, he said that I want to show you something, you know, the reason why you're actually on the island. And he actually told him the truth as well, you know what I mean? Like, you know, at one point Richard did turn up and he was scared, and he was saying that, you know, he wants to kill you, he wants to kill everybody, don't trust that man, do you know what I mean? But he's kind of rocked with it, he's gone with it. And as far as I know, in that situation, he might still want to kill him, he might do, but I also feel like he did tell the truth in today's episode. He did take him there, he didn't really hurt him. And he did obviously reveal about Jacob and how he died and what's going on and the names and how he met him in the past and stuff like that, and everything that basically, I think he was trying to not manipulate him, but he was trying to do something to get Sawyer on his side. You know, he's caught him in a vulnerable situation where he's drinking, he's obviously upset about everything that's going on, and he's promised him that he'll give him answers, which obviously he's gone for, and he's actually revealed them in today's episode. He's kind of getting him on his side. He wants to leave the island for his own personal thing, but he needs, obviously, it seems, other people to do stuff as well. Like, he needed Ben to kill Jacob, do you know what I mean? And it seems like he needs, obviously, maybe Sawyer and other people to help him to do things as well, because he can't do it all on his own. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do with his character, and I will finish it off. If you did enjoy today's episode, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.